Have you ever felt a creeping dread? A sense that there are things in this universe so vast, so ancient, that our human minds simply aren't equipped to comprehend them. A feeling that our reality is just a fragile island of understanding in an infinite, black ocean of madness. If so, you've already glimpsed the world of Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Today, we're diving deep into one of his most iconic and terrifying tales, The Call of Cthulhu, published in 1928. The story isn't just a monster tale, it's the cornerstone of an entire genre of horror we now call cosmic horror. It's not about ghosts in a haunted house or a slasher with a knife. It's about the soul-crushing terror of discovering humanity's complete and utter insignificance in the grand, terrifying scheme of the cosmos. The story begins, as many Lovecraftian tales do, with a dead man's papers. Our narrator, Francis Wayland Thurston, inherits a locked box from his great, a distinguished professor who died suddenly and mysteriously. Inside, he finds a bizarre collection of notes, newspaper clippings, and a strange clay bar. This little sculpture is the first piece of the puzzle, depicting a monstrous creature with a pulpy, tentacled head, a scaly, rubbery-looking body, and immense, bat-like wings. It's a design that defies all known biology, a nightmare given form. Driven by a mix of academic curiosity and a growing sense of unease, Thurston begins to piece together the professor's research. He learns that his great-uncle was investigating a widespread phenomenon of mass hysteria, nightmares, and madness that seemed to grip sensitive individuals, artists, and poets all around the world during a specific period in 1925. They all dreamed of the same thing: monstrous, cyclopean cities of slimy green stone and a terrifying, guttural chant that sounded something like Cthulhu Fitagan. What does it mean? Where did it come from? Thurston's investigation first leads him to the notes of a police inspector from New Orleans, a man named Years earlier, Legras had raided a degenerate cult in the swamps of Louisiana. The cultists were performing depraved rituals around a similar, hideous idol, chanting the very same phrase. When questioned, the captured cult members revealed their terrifying beliefs. They worshipped the Great Old Ones, cosmic entities from the stars who had ruled the earth. Eons before mankind, these beings were not dead, but merely dead and dreaming in their great stone city of Re, hidden beneath the waves of the Pacific Ocean. The most powerful among them was the Great Cthulhu. The cult believed that when the stars are right, Cthulhu would awaken and his psychic call would herald a new age of chaos, ecstasy, and slaughter, sweeping humanity aside like insects. This is where the horror truly begins to sink in. This isn't just a local swamp cult. It's a global conspiracy, an ancient religion that has persisted in secret for millennia, waiting. The cultists aren't just insane. They're the keepers of a truth so terrible that it drives people mad. They know that we are not the masters of this world. We are just temporary occupants, and our lease is about to expire. Feeling a chilling connection between the cult's beliefs and the global wave of nightmares, Thurston digs deeper. The final part of the puzzle comes from the logbook of a Norwegian sailor named Gustav Johansen, the sole survivor of a ship called the M.A. This is the most harrowing section of the story. A first-hand account of what happens when human beings stumble upon things they are not meant to see. Johansen's ship encounters a heavily armed yacht crewed by the same dark cult. A brutal battle ensues, and Johansen and his crewmates emerge victorious, but their own ship is crippled. They commandeer the cultists' vessel and continue their voyage. Then, fatefully, a violent storm and a seismic event push them off course. They discover an island, a new landmass of slimy, green stone that has risen from the depths of the Pacific. It's a city of non-Euclidean geometry, of maddening angles and impossible architecture. It is the nightmare city from the artist's dreams. It is against their better judgment, the sailors explored this foul, cyclopean metropolis. They accidentally opened a colossal doorway, and from the darkness within, a mountain-sized horror emerges. It's him, Great Cthulhu, freed from his long slumber. The description is pure nightmare fuel. A mountain walked or stumbled. A gelatinous green immensity. Lovecraft masterfully avoids giving too many precise details. forcing our own imaginations to fill in the blanks with our worst fears. What follows is not a heroic battle. It's a desperate, panicked flight for survival. The sailors are picked off one by one, their minds and bodies broken by the sheer cosmic wrongness of Cthulhu's presence. Johansen, in a final act of insane courage, turns the yacht around and rams it directly into the creature's colossal head. Cthulhu bursts apart in a cloud of stinking, otherworldly vapor. But then, horrifyingly, its form begins to coalesce and regenerate almost instantly. Johansen manages to escape, the only one to see the waking god and live, but he is forever broken by the experience. He dies shortly after writing his account, leaving behind the manuscript that completes the horrifying picture for Thurston. Now, Thurston knows the truth. He knows that an ancient, malevolent god lies dreaming beneath the ocean. He knows that its city has already risen once and could rise again. He knows that a global network of fanatical worshippers is working to hasten its return. He understands that the brief moment of Cthulhu's awakening was the source of the worldwide madness, a psychic ripple sent out from the abyss. The story ends on a note of profound, existential dread. Thurston now lives in fear, expecting a misstep or a slight jarring to be the end of him, just as it was for his great uncle and the sailor Johansen. He knows too much. The knowledge itself is a poison. He concludes with the story's most famous and chilling lines. The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate all its contents to sciences, each straining in its own direction, have hitherto harmed us little, but someday the piecing together of dissociated knowledge will open up such terrifying vistas of reality and of our frightful position therein, that we shall either go mad from the revelation or flee from the deadly light into the peace and safety of a new dark age. And that's the core of cosmic horror. The terror isn't that Cthulhu wants to eat us. Cthulhu doesn't care about us at all. We are so insignificant that our existence or non-existence is of no consequence to it. The terror is the revelation of our own cosmic all of our science, our religion, our art, our civilization. It's all a sandcastle built on the shore, waiting for a tide we can't even comprehend to wash it away without a second thought. The Call of Cthulhu is more than just a story. It's a philosophical statement, disguised as a horror tale. It forces us to confront the idea that the universe is not made for us, and that true knowledge might not lead to enlightenment, but to madness. It's a story that has influenced countless writers, filmmakers, and game designers, and its shadow looms large over the horror genre to this day. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, or out at the deep, dark ocean, remember the tale of Cthulhu. Remember that Raleigh lies sleeping, and that which is not dead can eternal lie, and with strange eons, even death may die. Thanks so much for diving into the abyss with me today. If you enjoyed this exploration of cosmic horror, please hit that like button, subscribe for more literary deep dives, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let me know in the comments what other classic horror stories you'd like me to cover. Stay curious, but maybe, not too curious. See you next time.